Dragon Ball stands as one of the most influential series ever created, and not the most influential. One of the most talked about topics is its versus battles. Whether it's inverse battles or cross-verse battles, you will always find someone comparing a Dragon Ball character to see who is the strongest between the two. Today I decided to cover the contentious debates about the movie villains versus the canon villains. However, when the character A beat character B due to them appearing early in the timeline, while that could be true, it could also be false, as these movie events happen in their own separate dimensions. Think of it like how future Trunks, instead of him changing the future, he created an alternate timeline, resulting in two separate timelines or dimensions where different events happen. Sometimes these movie events can be connected, but there are also instances where they just wouldn't fit anywhere in the story. To make some of these matchups fair, I'll be using both the manga and the anime to scale the main series villains, along with several guides, while I'll be using only the movie characters. So that means no specials or OVAs. To scale these movie villains, I'll analyze the movie themselves, along with movie pamphlets and several guides. I'll also only be using the very first variation of the movie villains, so that means no Metacooler or Bio Broly. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as we are on the verge of 1,000 subscribers. To kick off our comparison, let's put the same Prince Vegeta against Gauntlet Jr., Dr. Willow, and the original evil Goku, Turles. When we first encountered Vegeta, it revealed to us that he has a power level of 18,000. According to El Manga Legendario, a power level of only 10,000 is sufficient enough to destroy a planet. So Vegeta's power level here is almost double that. Also, Vegeta in this art just demonstrates crazy durability for his power level. As in early DBZ, a power level only need to be about 1.1 to 2 times greater for one fighter to dominate the other. We see this in many of Vegeta's fights on Namek against Kui, Dodoria, and Zarbon, where he was only slightly stronger but managed to defeat him with seemingly regular attacks. While in the fight against Goku, Vegeta was able to survive a Kaioken times 4 Kamehameha that was about 1.7 times stronger than his battle power. And he just rolled over this and he's just like, yup, I'm pissed off. Where that damn moon at? Compared to Gauntlet Jr. and Dr. Willow, Vegeta should find them relatively easy opponents. Gauntlet Jr. was defeated by pre-Saiyan Saga characters who didn't even need to use their most powerful techniques. And Dr. Willow, with a power level of 39,000, will also be no match for a Great Ape Vegeta, weaken or not. The only real challenge here is Turles. Turles is shown to have a power level of 19,000 and obviously defeated Piccolo, who had a power level of about 18,000. However, Piccolo was distracted by Gohan during a battle and took a concentrated ki blast in the back. This blast is kind of similar to the situation in the Cooler movie where Goku took a single blast in the back for Gohan and was incapacitated for the rest of the movie. As we know in Dragon Ball, taking attacks off guard can be very devastating for you. Later on in the movie, Turles battles Goku, who has a power level of 30,000, and despite being unable to keep up with Goku initially, after consuming a single bite from the Tree of Might, Turles begins to dominate Goku, even in his Kaioken times 10 state, showing a massive increase in power. If we assume that a single bite from the Tree of Might grants Turles over a 10-fold power boost, and consuming the entire fruit further increases his power, then we could lowball Turles here will have a power level well over 3 million. Doesn't this mean that Turles should win? Well, yes, if we just consider the peak of the abilities of both characters. However, in this scenario / video, we are replacing the main protagonists of the movie with the anime canon villains. So if we start them off at their base power levels, the outcome could be quite different. As I mentioned earlier, Vegeta seemed to possess superior durability and endurance feats compared to Turles. Turles was defeated by a singular similar sized Spirit Bomb, while Vegeta endured many devastating attacks from Goku in the game. In character, if Turles was to consume a bite from the Tree of Might and gain a massive power boost, it's reasonable to assume that Vegeta would do the same thing. This is a Saiyan Saga Vegeta we talking about, who is willing to do whatever it took to dominate and win battles. We see him transform into a Great Ape against Goku despite his dislike for it and his multiple attempts to attain immortality. Additionally, he allowed Krillin to attack him to trigger a Zenkai boost, essentially cheating to gain an advantage. Don't get early DBZ Vegeta pride mixed up with end of DBZ Vegeta pride. which could be a topic for another video. Regarding the tree of mighty power boost, we were never explicitly told how much power it grants, as Turles was the only one to consume it. However, it's possible to assume that it provides a similar logarithmic increase in power. Another factor that I do believe that Turles is a better fighter than Vegeta. He was able to easily best Piccolo in combat with a power level very close to his, and he just appears to be more of a brutal fighter in the movie. He also knew a lot about the Saiyan biology, and he just grows Gohan's tail back somehow, and created a power ball, which nobody in the movie mentions that lowers his battle power, which is something that Vegeta can't do. Honestly, the fight between Vegeta and Turles could go either way. If we had to choose a winner, it would probably be Vegeta due to his superior durability and endurance feats, while Turles may have the advantage in terms of raw power and fighting skill. I just don't think Turles has any powerful attack in his arsenal that we see in the movie that will put him over the edge to Vegeta. However, you could make an argument for Turles based on his combat skills and his knowledge on Saiyan biology. For all we know, Turles could just know some Ultra Saiyan weakness. Also, if you do just want to take the peak of both characters in their own respective arc/movie, then you could do that as well. With this comparison, the canon villains earn a point, while the movie villains remain at 0. This next matchup is a fascinating one, as Frieza will be facing off against his cooler older brother. Skill of this matchup is relatively straightforward. We have both feats and statements that directly compare the two in the movies. They're directly compared to Frieza. In movie 4, it seems to happen in a very interesting timeline after Goku defeats Frieza, but he seemingly defeats Frieza without Super Saiyan, as he doesn't have access to it in this movie. It's very highly possible that Frieza actually lost to the Spirit Bomb in this movie. Lord Slug is directly compared to King Piccolo, with the assertion that he is even more violent and evil than the infamous King Piccolo himself. This statement is kind of wild, considering that King Piccolo is technically pure evil. In a matchup, Lord Slug absolutely dog-walks Goku to the point where Goku himself believes that even a Kaioken wouldn't make a difference. If we use the anime scaling, it will make Goku power level at the lowest 3 million, and when he uses Kaioken times 20, 60 million. In a fit of desperation and anger, Goku taps into their primal rage, unlocking false Super Saiyan, a form that we don't know the exact multiplier for, but we could assume that it's somewhere between a 24 through 50 times multiplier, giving Goku hesitation to use Kaioken. I believe it's the same multiplier as regular Super Saiyan, and this is what King Kai compares it to. In the Japanese movie title, he is called the Super Saiyan Son Goku. False Super Saiyan Goku managed to beat Slug in combat, but Slug wasn't really going all out, and he transformed to his giant Namekian state. This transformation knocks Goku back to his senses, reverting him from his false Super Saiyan state. Lord Slug in this state is said to be so powerful that not even Frieza or a Super Saiyan could defeat him. Lord Slug just beats on Goku after this, until a severely injured Piccolo gives Goku his energy, allowing Goku to go Kaioken times 100. And severely injure Slug when he penetrates him. Pause. Side note, share your energy in Dragon Ball is literally a cheat code. I'll be going more over this in the next section. As Goku flies through the sky, he charges a Spirit Bomb, and Slug still menacingly chases him down with a hole in his chest. But he is caught off guard once he senses the Spirit Bomb's power. This grants Goku enough time to hit Slug with the Spirit Bomb and defeats him. This Spirit Bomb was charged by 1 sun, while the Dynamic Spirit Bomb was charged by 3 and was much larger, so you could argue the Dynamic Spirit Bomb was much stronger, but this Slug was also very severely injured by the Kaioken times 100 attack. This is very much like the Vegeta and Turles situation. You can go back and forth arguing for each side, but that is pretty pointless for this type of video, as Cooler unquestionably outclasses both of them. Throughout the movie, in various guides, Cooler is constantly portrayed as stronger than Frieza, and in V-Jump, Cooler's power level is stated to be 470 million, which is pretty remarkable, but actually a low ball, because throughout the movie, both Goku and Cooler show superiority over Frieza, is emphasized repeatedly, and after they scuffle in the water, where Goku and Cooler appear relatively matched in base, Cooler finally accepted that Goku was indeed powerful enough to defeat his brother, which prompts him to transform into his secret fifth form, a form so powerful that he just effortlessly withstands a Kaioken times 20 Kamehameha, and he just flies through it like butter, which is pretty crazy. If we take this statement seriously, then this would apply that base Goku has a power level at least equivalent to a power level of 120 million. And maybe Cooler just thought that Goku was a better fighter than Frieza. And when utilizing Kaioken times 20, his power level surpasses 2.4 billion. Cooler would need to be 1.2 through 2 times stronger than this, indicating that his fifth form boasts a multiplier of at least 20 to 40 times. We know his form won't reach 50 times multiplier due to him being outmatched by Super Saiyan Goku. Cooler also thought in this movie, in the dub, that he could take out the sun, which would make him around star level. With this makes the canon villain still win and movie villains taking their first W. Now we come to one of the most anticipated matchups, the perfect life form, the perfect being, the perfect Mogger, Cell, facing off against one of the arguably best movie villain in DBZ, Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. This matchup has been debated for years, and it's time to settle it once and for all. Cell would easily defeat both Android 13 and Bojack, as they both are featless bums in their respective movies, and we can only compare them to the anime. Android 13 was defeated by pre-time Super Saiyans, while Bojack was swiftly depanced by Gohan when he transformed to a Super Saiyan 2. Bojack's only noteworthy statement was his ability to shake a galaxy, but shaking a galaxy doesn't equate to being able to destroy one. Bojack even went momentarily insane when he charged up a ki blast so powerful, believing that he had killed Gohan with it, only to discover that he didn't even scratch him. In contrast to Cell, he was on the brink of killing Gohan and destroying the entire solar system along with him. You can scale Cell even higher, as solar systems, galaxies, and the entire Dragon Ball cosmology is much larger than our own, which I'll dive deeper into in a moment. The only real challenge for Cell here is Broly. Broly, a movie villain so popular that he later on became canon in Dragon Ball Super. He was born with an outstanding power level of 10,000, feared by even the king, survived the destruction of his planet. Broly and Paragus conquered many planets awaiting their revenge. This plan was orchestrated by Paragus himself, as he had a very hard time controlling Broly until a device was made for him to be able to somewhat control him. This controlled, restricted, suppressed Super Saiyan Broly was still able to destroy the South Galaxy. If you didn't know Dragon Ball cosmology already, then this galaxy is much larger than a regular galaxy in our universe, and actually refer to the South Chondrite of galaxies, which is a massive cluster of galaxies and maybe even infinite in size. Now, infinite could just refer to finite, which means very many, but this is still a massive feat for Broly, as he even stated to be able to destroy the entire universe, although this could be interpreted as a overtime scenario. This places Broly at a high multi-galactic levels of power, even in his restricted Super Saiyan state. And this heavily restricted Super Saiyan Broly wasn't even able to push Goku to Super Saiyan. This was until he became the true legendary Super Saiyan, making the entire cast, including Vegeta, his bitch. It's literally funny because you never see Vegeta acting like this throughout the whole series. Not when he lost to Frieza, not against Cell, not against Buu. The only person that made Vegeta feel this type of way, like somewhat, is Beerus. Bro was legit sweating and dodging smoke from Broly for almost the entire movie. I joke with my friends about this too, because you can literally add Cell to the cast and make him a Z fighter and add him to the jumping sequence, and it legit still wouldn't matter. Cell wouldn't even be the strongest Z fight in the scenario. And when King Kai tells Goku about Broly actions in the South Galaxy, Goku responds with, "Oh, really? Well, I could probably take him." Like, Goku wasn't even worried about Broly until he met him face to face. Do I mean that these movies happen in separate dimensions / timelines? Cause you could legit take this movie Goku that happened around the Cell Game saga with Broly alongside him, and they are close to the top tiers in the Buu saga. A lot of people like to get mad how the Broly movie ended with Broly getting one punch pretty much. A lot of people call it the plot overplex. But this attack is much more powerful than you think, because Goku got energy shared to him from the Z Fighters. And what I mentioned earlier, that sharing your energy in Dragon Ball give you a big boost of power is literally a cheat code. It's crack as we see this in the Laura Slug movie when a severely injured Piccolo gave Goku a little bit of energy, and Goku was able to go from literally being on life support to be able to go Kaioken times 100 with no drawbacks. We also see this multiple times throughout GT, and if you want to say that those two instances ain't canon, I mean the Broly movie ain't either, but we also see this in Super, we see this in the Battle of God Saga, and we also see this in the Immortal arc. And this Goku that got energy shared to him from this movie had got 1,000 times ki boost, which is absolutely crazy. The only way that Cell would stand a chance if he used the anime version of his power 30 even the universe, which isn't really consistent with the story progression of Dragon Ball. I wouldn't really take that statement for both of them as a true feat of power, especially for Cell, because if you believe that Cell is universal in Dragon Ball, then who isn't universal in Dragon Ball? This gives the movie villains another point as we arrive at the final selection, covering Kid Buu and BuuHan against Frieza and Janemba. Now, all 4D characters scale around each other, with all of them having similar statements suggesting that they can destroy the entire universe. But before I dive into these four, remember what I said earlier about these movies happening in separate dimensions / timelines? We just can't say who stomps Super Saiyan 3 Goku the hardest. It's just not that simple. So we'll be covering feats and statements as usual to compare these four. Kid Buu in the anime went to the afterlife to rerun the fade with his previous ops. It was stated that he was planning on destroying the Grand Chaos World. Given that the afterlife is comparable to the universe in size, possibly even infinite, and the Grand Chaos World orbit around this realm like a moon, even destroying a fraction of this planet would indicate multi-galactic levels of power. And you could, at the highest, highball him to Universal Plus. In El Manga Legend Dario, it does imply this, and especially when considering his clash with Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where they were shown to be destroying the Kaishin realm, which is a significant fraction of the macrocosm. Frieza was also stated to be a threat to the universe, though this isn't really particularly impressive, considering similar statements made for previous characters. It ain't nothing new at this point. While he could keep up with a post-Buu Saga Super Saiyan 3 Goku, his durability does seem lacking, as whenever he does get attacked by the Z Fighters, he get mollywopped pretty quickly. Even base Kid Trunks was able to severely injure him, unless you want to argue that maybe King Cole was actually right, and maybe Trunks' sword really does have some crazy power to it, but very unlikely. The only plausible scenario where Frieza stands a chance if he lands a ton of blows and manifests as a phantom quickly. However, if both Super Saiyan 3 Goku and a base Kid Trunks was able to counterattack him effectively, it's reasonable to assume that Kid Buu will also be capable of doing so. This just leaves Kid Buu versus Janemba, and this fight is actually a lot closer than what I originally thought. In movie 12, we see Goku power ups to Super Saiyan 3, and it shakes the entire afterlife, which is calculated to be a multi-galactic feat. But if you do believe the Dragon Ball universe is truly infinite in size, then you could upscale this to Universal Plus levels of power. Janemba obviously scales over this, and he just beats him down. And this is a dead Goku, so he would have infinite stamina, and he could be possibly stronger than a regular Super Saiyan 3. Goku also says that Janemba is the strongest enemy that he has ever fought, but we really can't compare this to Kid Buu or BuuHan, as both Goku and Vegeta are dead in this movie, and it was seen that this movie takes place in a timeline where either Goku, when he was dead, Gotenks, or Gohan already defeated Buu before Buu was able to absorb anyone. A lot of people like to state that Janemba was able to distort both the afterlife and the living world, but it was only the afterlife, and when he sealed King Yama, that would cause the dead to come back to life. It wouldn't really compare to BuuHan. When he was enraged, it was stated that he distorted the space around him, which would cover the living world and wipe out the entire universe, which even Vegeta struggled to deal with. This feat will at least be high multi-galactic levels of power, but highly likely universal plus. A feat far beyond Janemba's. Janemba also has a huge weakness as well, as he is weak to insults. We see this in both the movie and in guides. Maybe Kid Buu wouldn't be able to take advantage of this, as he doesn't really talk, unless you think him dancing with insult Janemba, which would be pretty funny. But I'm pretty sure that BuuHan would find his weakness, as he did become a professional shit talker after he absorbed Gotenks. Both Buus possess superior regeneration capabilities and wield magical abilities as well, giving them an edge over Janemba. While Janemba may have a chance against Kid Buu, he would lose against BuuHan. And if you scale Kid Buu higher than BuuHan due to his statements in the anime, then he too would also be stronger than him as well. With this gives anime villains another point, and we actually ended off with a tie. Going into this, I actually believe the movie villains would absolutely destroy the canon counterparts, which in some situations it did. Plus we had the Eternal situation way back at the beginning of the video. If you don't agree with that, then you could give the movie villains the slight edge. If you believe that I was wrong about some of these, then tell me in the comment section below. I wasn't able to go over all the feats and statements as I really wanted to, but if I broke everything down in this video, then it easily would have been over an hour long. Yeah, I'm not finna edit an hour long video at this point. If you want more videos like these, then tell me in the comment section below, and make sure to subscribe to tell me your thoughts.